Aloha, and welcome to another evening of. Thank God this guy's wearing clothes tonight because he hasn't been getting tan recently. However, this morning I did go snorkeling and free diving with some new friends that I met at a party last night. Super great. May I mentioned I was going to do that last night. Not sure. Super tired. They got up early this morning, and the me setting boundaries is continuing. My neighbor. Great guy, I'm sure. Definitely older than his, I'm guessing, much younger wife because he has young children. And he's doing that, like, wonderful old guy thing, like, I'm gonna die one day. So this is not what he sounds like. It's the best old guy voice I can do right now. So I'm gonna repair the house that I live in, and then repair the other house that's a rental, and pave over every patch of grass that I have with cement to make an echo chamber under the carport that directly faces your window, so that every single day, and especially on the weekends when you're trying to work and do your grad school application, I'm going to be noisy and test your patience. Do I require a COVID vaccine in order to go to the Himalayas and sit in a cave? According to Yogananda, I do not. I should just practice Kriya Yoga and go inside and lift off into some super consciousness. And my question with that is that really the awesome thing to do? Like, I mean, I guess spending so many years not being in touch with my body and then finally being in touch with my body, should we be appreciating and loving our bodies? Maybe I mentioned this last night or over the last couple nights. Not sure. I am running on full steam these days, and there's been a lot of transformation recently. Um, Yesterday I went to the doctor for a thing, for whatever, and he started. He is not my psychologist or my counselor. He worked in the same office as my psychologist, and assumed, correctly or not, whether it was in my medical record or not, that he was looking at that I had some type of trauma. It was interesting to watch that interaction because our parts, as per the internal family system model, and even Ram Dass, our personas, our parts are out there in the world interacting with one another. So his wanting to dominate and be right part was interacting with my wanting to dominate and be right part, and he decided to try to win the contest by inferring, assuming, and saying multiple times that people who have trauma, like me, right, or like you, and what I noticed after that was very fascinating because I internalized his stress. It agitated some tics that I have, especially when I walk, like scraping my feet on the ground or knocking my knees together. Not so much grinding of the teeth, though that can be there, and if I internalize it even more. And then my protector part came out, which was a little bit funny or elated mood, to try to diffuse the situation and try to get me even to forget about that stressful situation, to get me to to laugh. Right, I can even feel tension in there right now while I'm saying this. So so then I was able to see that part, and I also see other, another, like, protective defensive part when I'm spoken over or unheard or feel challenged, feel helpless, just like I did with my father. And my that part inside of me, we were having a continuing dialogue. So I definitely urge everyone to pick up No Bad Parts. And what else? Yeah, just so after that today I was anyway, I went home, released the energy, meditated, got it out, and today I wrote a letter to the director um, of the medical center, just sort of politely laying out what happened. Turns out, in there is some gratitude in a way, like in a kind of a backwards way, not really towards him. He didn't know what he was doing. Well, he knew what he was doing, but he didn't really know how it was affecting me in that way or the results. Maybe there is some spirit world where we all are like higher selves are connecting in this kind of divine matrix kind of way. And I do think that that is true. Um, so maybe, maybe my part and his part were trying to, show themselves under this new Scorpio moon and heal each other. Hippie wah wah aside, definitely, it was bringing up issues that I had with my father unresolved through the years and couldn't resolve because he passed. So I say couldn't because you can always go back in and um, re engage with those parts, especially those things that you, excuse me, those energies that you take on from other people. So I feel a lot of I feel a lot of tension out there in the world. I feel a little bit less, kind of like elation and joy from everybody else. And maybe this is partially me too, but there's there's a little bit of a shift happening right now. In general, things are super awesome, and even despite that interaction, and also because of it, it gives me greater insight into moving forward. Today, I worked on my letter of intent, as well, writing that the letter to the director of the medical center released some tension. Started texting one of the girls from the party last night. She seems receptive, and yeah. What else? Tomorrow, really looking forward to yoga and meditation. I didn't do yoga today, and I feel that missing in my life. So, you know, I know I wrote this last week too, but every day, Charles, you need to make a commitment to yourself to do yoga for at least 15 or 20 minutes, even if you can't get to class. Do 10, 15 minutes in the morning, do 10, 15 minutes in the evening. My neighbors next door, they're getting it on about politics stuff. At the end of the day, change yourself, change the world, self love. We're gonna finish this book. Your self love is a medicine for the earth. Don't even, seriously. Maybe I think it's a little bit. As your self-love grows stronger, so do the waves of change that you can create. And that's true with me as well. Um, with the girl I was engaging last night, I was texting with today, I was um, a lot of compassion, a lot of compassion, because I have a lot of compassion and love for myself, knowing where I've come from and gone through anxiety and feeling unheard and feeling shut down and feeling like low energy and crawling in the bed and under the sheets. And so there is part of me that finds her definitely sexually and physically attractive. There's another part of me that's like the wounded bird. She's, let's take care of that. Um, I don't really want to date anyone right now, though. I want to enjoy people's company, and I want to get into grad school because that is how I heal the trauma of me not being able to protect my mother from my father's abuse. Ooh, voice squeaking there. Voice is so true. Wow. And also, and also me not being able to stand up and protect myself from my father at that age. The beauty of self love is that it can grow into the unconditional love that can end all harm. Read one more, maybe a page and a half. It's a bit of a long one. With self-love, we have the determination and courage to move deeply inward using honesty as our guide. This inward movement transforms our being, dramatically enhancing our awareness of who we are, our understanding of the universe, and our capabilities as individuals. A beautiful result of this process is that our new sense of compassion towards ourselves does not end with us. It blossoms and flows outward into the lives of others, and has the capacity, if consistently cultivated, to encompass all beings. Jesus Christ. This growing compassion becomes the centerpiece and active component of a love that knows no limits. Unconditional love for ourselves and others completely respects our sovereignty as individuals and honors our power by no longer allowing ourselves to be harmed by anyone. This limitless love also gives us new grace and clarity that help us see ourselves in all other beings and better understand where they are coming from. It gives us strength to treat all with kindness and support all in living lives in which they are no longer harmed. Unconditional love can bring balance to our world. The clarity it produces can help us better understand the roots of harm and work to eliminate them so that all can have an external freedom needed to work on their own internal liberation. The greed and reactiveness that cause harm to be replaced with love as the primary motivator and response of kindness as our personal form of action. Let me read that again. The greed and reactiveness that cause harm to be replaced with love as the primary motivator and response of kindness as our principal form of action. To create this shift in our world, many will have to heal themselves deeply by doing their inner work, releasing burdens with themselves and creating enough space so that their own self-love can breathe deeply and expand into unconditional love. As more expand into this field of greater egolessness, the world will shift with us and be significantly relieved of the greed that sits at the center of the imbalance that we currently experience. Our love as a humanity does not need to be perfectly unconditional to change the world. Every time our collective love grows, it creates a better future. Yeah. Have a beautiful evening. Aloha.